Hello everyone, this is Sheba Joy. Welcome to my channel Zion Shekinah Official. Zion means God's dwelling place and Shekinah is God's glory. Um, Today we're going to see Proverbs 10, chapter 10, and it has verses 32. So it has 32 verses, and we're lagging behind a lot of lagging behind a lot because this month has 30 days and Proverbs has 31 chapters. And then if you look at the count today, even if I complete like 9 Proverbs, it's going to be, I think, 22. Yeah, 22 will be left with only 16 days, remaining to be completed. So, I think is it 22, 32? No, I think it will be like, 9. So, need to do that fast. But the reason that I was not able to complete this for the past, no excuses, but this is just something that I'm letting you all know. And that is, I was having this out under my portico. I was having this little room built with iron material, which is like we in India call that as a grill shed, mainly because for safety, and also mainly for safety, and so it was taking forever. It almost took like a week now, and so all my time went into assisting them, letting them know how they should, even though they knew the work, which I thought that they were experts, which they were not actually. And so I had to tell them, even in the measurements they were going very wrong, so I had to put them on proper check and keep checking their work, and also see their work, because they were not doing a proper clean work, like how an expert or at least a professional would do. So this is where we were struggling. And also since all around me there are people who are against, my house is also called Zion Shekinah. That's how I named my channel Zion Shekinah too. So they were they're against us having this land and this house which mommy gave me, and I'm going to tell you about that. And they're doing a lot of witchcraft, so that's also burdening these people. And then they're moving really slow, because they didn't, they admitted in a partial way, but I knew that when they were doing it very slow, it was not because it's not because it's their fault fully, and so, but mainly today being November 14th, I'm very, very thankful for this day. And it's a very, very, very special day because my mom had given her half of the half of her property, share, half of her house. She put it on my name. She has this beautiful 268 square yards, and then she gave me 134 square yards. And she gave half of it on my name, with a lot of struggle, with a lot of trauma, and with a lot of attack on her life, but yet she made sure that half of it came on my name, even though I was the eldest in the family. So and I'm very, very grateful, because I think if she had just given me in a way that most parents give their children what they want to, as gifts and things like that. That would have been like entirely different. But she gave this half of the house on my name as a sacrifice, sacrifice from her life, sacrifice from the things that she went through to give it to me. The sufferings and the pain and the problem and the trauma and the great harassment and torture that she had from these, some of my people in the family, uh, she went through, and then yet she gave it to me. So I am, whenever this day comes, I become kind of like emotional, and also I'm so very grateful for the sacrifice she's done, just so I can have this half of the property, which is hers, but just to give it to me, she went through a lot. But also, November 14th is Children's Day. It's celebrated in India, where Chacha Nehru, the first president of India, Prime Minister of India, he celebrated this. He gave gifts to children. He loved children, so he gave gifts to children. So also, it's a very special day too, in patriotic way. That my mom gave me her half of the share of the house, put it on my name on this very day, on November 14th. And so it's been 9 years. She did it in 2014. And so I'm very grateful, to her for everything, and it's and I become also very emotional and sad for the things that she had to go through to put this half of the things on my name, because of the attacks she had, and the trauma and the harassment and everything that she went through. But I want to look on the brighter side. you know I feel that, God, that in my spirit, that like God put it in my spirit, saying that when a sacrifice is done, there's a greater outcome for that thing that was sacrificed. Like, for example, um this house, my mom, 268 square yards, she dedicated it to the glory of God. And then, which means she always wanted, a prayer hall or a church built on the top of this house. So she made a sacrifice. And then when sacrifice is done, we see in the Bible that there's a greater outcome from that. There's a greater blessing, on this land. There's a greater plan and a purpose that God has for this land. And a few examples that I can think from the Bible is when Abraham wanted to sacrifice Isaac, Isaac was not actually the sacrifice, but God tested him, and Abraham went all out to sacrifice. But what happened? He found a lamb, and he sacrificed that. And then from Isaac came many generations to lead people to, Christ, which is also the genealogy from where, like, Jesus was born. So that is one. And then Jesus himself came as a sacrifice. What happened? He conquered sin and death. So, giving his life, he rose on the third day, which is resurrection, and we celebrate Easter on that day. And then he's going to come back the second, as on the horse, on the white horse, that second coming. So we know that, God is, that Jesus has done the sacrifice for this greater glory. Also, like many other sacrifices were done in the Bible that I'm not able to think right now. But anyway, so I'm again, wanting to say, and will always say, thank you, Mom, for this thing, for your sacrifice, for this house, for this place, which will definitely yield what your goodness in this land and your desire in this land, and also the plan and purpose that God has for in this land. So, yeah. So let's look at Proverbs 9, chapter 9. And so let's look at Proverbs chapter 9, which has like 18 verses. Not sorry. I said 30. No. So Proverbs chapter 9, 1 to 18. Wisdom has built her house, she has set up its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her servants, and she calls from the highest point of the city. Let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense, she says, come, eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your simple ways and you will live. Walk in the way of insight. Whoever corrects a mocker invites insults. Whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. Do not rebuke mockers, or they will hate you. Rebuke the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through wisdom your days will be many, and the years will be added to your life. If you're wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you're a mocker, you alone will suffer. Folly is an unruly woman. She is simple and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house, on a seat at the highest point of the city, calling out to those who pass by, who go straight on their way, let all who are simple come to my house. To those who have no sense, she says, stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret is delicious. But little do they know that the dead are there, that her guests are deep in the realm of the dead. Wow, this is really beautiful, I think. It's also talking about the today, how, beautiful it is. And what a coincidence is, because it's saying that wisdom has built her house. She has set it up on 7 pillars. And 7 pillars might mean definitely something, but I'm not sure what. 7 is the number of God also. So in verse 1 it says that, and if you see how wisdom is talking about, how, if they have wisdom, they, they have prepared her meat and mixed her with wine. She also sets a table and things like that in front of the servants and all that stuff. That means there is going to be plenty, there is going to be good, there is going to be like sumptuous. But the ones who are not, but the ones who's also, if we, let's go in sequence. If we see verse 7, it says, whoever corrects a mocker invites insults. That's so true, because people who are very negative and who are little in their minds, we call them foolish. So foolish people also are kind of like mockers, because when we try to correct them, we invite insults, because they think they're only the wisest people, and if we try to correct them, they do not like that. And so also they rebuke and these wicked people, and whoever rebukes the wicked incurs abuse. That means, when we rebuke the wicked, why we get the abuse? Because the thing is, sometimes these wicked people try to get away and do lots of wicked things in their own way, and when we try to correct them or rebuke their ways, they try to get back to you in a more wrong way. So that is what it's saying. But also it's saying, but when we instruct the wise, they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. How beautiful that is. That means we can easily know who the wicked and who the good and the righteous people are, because wicked people will despise wisdom. Wicked people will even rebuke and abuse when they are corrected. But the wise, they will learn when they're corrected. It says in the Bible in Proverbs chapter 9. Also, they will also become wiser. How beautiful that is. And how do they do it? When they have the fear of the Lord. It says in chapter 9 verse 10, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. How do they know it? When they have the fear of the Lord. And that is how they get wisdom. And knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. And when they know that God is God and He is holy, we have to revere Him, that He is a God of justice and also He is a God of grace. When we have that kind of an understanding, they get also when they have that knowledge about God, they also have good understanding. So a person who has good understanding is there with them. People who have good understanding is there with them because they have the knowledge of the Holy One, and also they fear the Lord. That's why they have wisdom in them. And it says, whoever has wisdom, their days will be many and the years will be added to their to our life. Like whoever has wisdom, like if we have wisdom, we'll know how to walk in the ways of God. And when we walk in the ways of God, no matter what happens, and when we depend on and we have the knowledge of the Holy One, when we know that God is holy, and then He's our protector, He's our shepherd, He is our redeemer, He is our kinsman. When we know those things, and He is El Shaddai, Almighty God, when we know those things, our years automatically will be numbered. Why? Because supernaturally God will take care of us. Supernaturally God will show His favor and grace, because we are also being inclined to His word, His knowledge, His understanding of who He is. And folly again is something which is being foolish. It's like an unruly woman, for the Bible, God is comparing foolishness to an unruly woman. She is simple, but she knows nothing. I mean, she looks simple, she acts simple, and she doesn't know nothing, which means that she's also stupid. So, and what does she do? She sits at the doorhouse on the street highest point and calling out to those who pass by, who go straight to their way. And what does she do? She has no other work but just to sit, by the gate and see who, like, we call them like busy bodies. They don't, and these days, some women are not like, I have seen and I'm experiencing that. They're not like, and I know, some people are in my neighborhood like that, who are sitting and they watch all the time what we do, what we don't do, when we go out, when we come in, and all that. And some through their cameras, and some through the one who have stolen our password to the cameras and things like that. So, a lot of nonsense is going on in this world and in our place also. But to such people, they're nothing but they're foolish people. They are committing faults, they're committing wrong things. And the Bible is comparing them to an unruly woman who sits and does these things, nothing but she does only these things. She has no sense, it says. And what does this people, or they say that stolen water is sweet. Did you see that? They feel very happy when they steal some things and eat, and drink. So they're saying that they find a lot of pleasure when they steal stuff, and they say that it's sweet. And food eaten in secret is delicious, because they eat food in secret. Why in secret? I mean, because anything that you earn, you very openly, or you earn in a nice way, in a good way, in an honest way. You bring it home, you have pride over it, you feel happy about it, and you know that God has blessed that food, and so you eat in openly. But a woman, or a household, or a person, or a man, or a woman, whoever that is, who doesn't have wisdom, and they have stolen, the things like that, they feel they eat that kind of food. They might be getting a lot of food, they might be having a variety of food every day, but they eat in secret. And when they eat in anything done in secret is not really, they don't I think people don't find any pleasure in that. People are not happy when people do something in secret. So that itself is kind of like a curse on them. So That is what Bible is saying here, and the word of God is saying here. But little do they know, chapter 9, 17, verse 17 it says, verse 18 it says, but little do they know that the dead are there, that our guests are deep in the realm of the dead. See, it's saying in chapter 8, verse 18, but little do they know that the dead are there. See, they have seen some people pass by for doing such things. They have seen, that dead people are like right in front of them, who they would have called them very dear to their heart or mind or whatever that is. But they're dead because they have committed something very wrong. They went even before, like, living their time in a quite a middle-aged stuff or something like that, and their guests are in the realm of the dead, and that her guests are deep in the realm of the dead. Why her guests? Because, you know birds of the same feather flock together. So if a wicked person will automatically try to be in the group of wicked people, and they have friends who are wicked, and they have alignments and things like that who are wicked. But a righteous person, maybe they might not be having a lot of friends or a lot of right people and all that, but still, whatever, whoever they have, they try to be together. The right tries to be with the right, the wrong tries to be with the wrong. This is what the Lord is talking about, and I think it's really a very nice chapter. And also, it's talking about the house. What a coincidence it is! So, may the Lord bless this word, and thank you all for listening.